Hello class 6 students, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well. I am Monica Bajaj, your science teacher, and today we will discuss about your chapter number 4, sorting material into groups. Our world is made up of millions of things. Such of them are living while others are non-living. You see furniture, shoes, utensils, scooter, bicycle, book, etc. around you. All these things have different shapes, sizes, colors, etc. These objects are also made up of different things. For example, furniture is made up of wood while books is made up from paper. See these pictures. Materials. A material is a substance that is used for making an object. There are many kinds of materials in the world. These materials can be metals, glass, wood, cotton, plastic, paper or mud. The use of a material depends on its properties. The special features of things like how strong a material is or its heat passes through it, how does it behave are called its properties. We choose a material for a particular job because it has the right property for that job. For example, in choosing material for building a bridge, the material should be strong. In choosing material for making jewelry, it should be attractive. In choosing material to be used in aircraft, it should be light. Types of materials. Materials may be man-made or naturally occurring. Man-made materials. The material which do not occur in nature but are produced or made by man are called man-made materials. Glass, steel, plastic, nylon, china clay, etc. are man-made materials. Natural materials. Cotton, wood, jute, coal, minerals, marble, river, mountain, trees, natural gas, etc. are natural occurring materials. See these pictures of man-made materials and natural materials. Some common characteristics of materials. Some common characteristics of materials are described below. All materials can be felt by one or more of our senses. We can feel things by touching, smelling or seeing. We cannot see air but can feel it on our skin. We can smell a perfume even from a distance. Cotton is soft to touch and stone is hard. You can easily identify materials by touching them. All materials occupy space. A book placed on a table occupies space on the table. Water in a tumbler occupies space in the tumbler. A stone placed on a table occupies space on the table. All materials have mass. All things contain one or more kinds of materials. The amount of matter in any object is called its mass. So, all materials have mass. Other than these properties, materials have some other properties which form the basis of the classification. Classification. Grouping objects in accordance with a similar property is called classification. The things around you can be classified in various ways, living or non-living, small or big, natural or man-made, and so on. Need for classification. Classification of things is beneficial to us in many ways. Some of the advantages of classification are as follows. It helps to understand similarities and dissimilarities among objects. It makes our study easier, simpler and systematic. It helps to locate things. It helps in identification of objects. It also reduces our confusion and problems. Some important properties of material. Materials are substances that can be classified on the basis of their properties. The properties of any material determine its uses. Some simple properties on the basis of which materials can be classified are described below. Physical state. Materials can be classified on the basis of their state. All substances are made up of matter. Matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gas. The main points of difference between solid, liquid, and gas are as follows. Solid, definite shapes and volume, cannot be compressed. Particles are closely packed. Next one is liquid. Definite volume but no definite shape. They take shape of the container in which they are stored. Can be compressed to a small extent. Particles are not as closely packed as in solids. Last one is gas. No definite shape and volume. Highly compressible. Particles are loosely packed. Appearance. Appearance of any material can be described in terms of any one or more of the following properties: color, texture, luster, hardness. Let's start with color. Natural materials have their characteristic color. The man-made material can be given any color. For example, gold is golden yellow, whereas copper is reddish brown. Silver is white, whereas iron, lead, zinc, etc. are greyish. Therefore, we can identify most of the naturally occurring material by their color. Luster. The surface of some materials are shiny, while others are rather dull. This shine of the material is called luster. For example, a page from your notebook has no luster and appears dull when compared to a kettle made of metal. Gold, silver, copper, aluminium and iron are some example of materials. Example of metals. Wood, on the other hand, is not a metal, so it does not have luster. Some materials lose their luster with time or when they are exposed to air and moisture. You must have noticed that the brass and silver item at home have to be polished from time to time. This helps these items regain their shine and look new. If this is not done, they appear dull and tarnished. Texture. Certain materials are smooth, whereas some others are rough to touch. For example, silk is smooth to touch while wool is rough. Hardness. Some materials are very hard, whereas some others are soft. For example, diamond is the hardest material which can cut glasses. Certain materials are very soft. These can be easily powdered by just pressing. Chalk is a soft material. Solubility. A large number of materials can be dissolved in water, but water cannot dissolve all the materials. The property of dissolving in water is called solubility. We can group material on the basis of their solubility. Material which dissolve in water are called soluble material. Material which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble materials. There are some gases which are soluble in water, whereas others are insoluble in water. Oxygen gas is soluble in water. Aquatic plants and animals use the oxygen gas dissolved in water for their survival. Another gas that can be dissolved in water is carbon dioxide. Aquatic plants use carbon dioxide gas dissolved in water to make their own food by photosynthesis. Nitrogen gas, however, does not dissolve in water and it is said to be insoluble in water. Materials may be float or sink in water. Some materials such as wood, paper, sponge, etc. float on the surface of the water, while some materials like stone, metal, spoon, eraser, etc. sink in water. Transparency. While traveling in cars or buses, you are able to see through windows which are made up of glass but not through the metallic body. But in winters, you cannot see clearly even through the glass windows because of the frost on them, which makes them less transparent. Based on transparency or the ability to see through, Materials can be classified as follows. First one is transparent materials. Materials through which you can see clearly are called transparent materials. Light passes fully through these materials. For example, glass window, some plastics and acrylic sheets are transparent in nature. Next one is translucent materials. Materials through which you can see only partially are called transparent materials. Light passes only partially through these materials. Oily paper, thin muslin cloth, butter paper and frosted glass are translucent in nature. Opaque materials. Materials through which you cannot see at all are called opaque materials. Light does not pass at all these materials. For example, wood, wall made up of concrete, metal sheet, notebook and paper are opaque material. There are some pictures given to you for your better understanding. Transparent material, translucent material and opaque materials. Conduction of heat. Some substances that allow the heat energy to flow through them are called good conductors of heat, and those substances which do not allow the heat energy to flow through them are called bad conductors of heat. Kitchen utensils are made up of metals because metals are good conductor of heat. Heat can easily pass through the metals to the food being cooked in the utensils. And the handles of these utensils are made up of wood or plastic, which do not allow heat to pass through them easily. So, the handles do not become hot while cooking. In solid or liquid states, matter can be good or bad conductor of heat. Matter in gaseous state is generally a bad conductor of heat. Hence, we can also classify the matter on the basis of the ability to conduct heat. Magnetic and non-magnetic substance. Materials that are attracted towards a magnet are called magnetic substances. This property is called magnetism. Iron, nickel and cobalt are magnetic substances. The materials which are not attracted toward a magnet are called non-magnetic substance. For example, magnetic materials are oil pins, clips, nails, iron, key. Non-magnetic materials are eraser, water, glass, cardboard, plastic comb, rock, pencil, paper. Magnetic stickers, magnetic toys are commonly available in the market. In industries, magnetic material can be separated from the non-magnetic material using strong magnets. Magnetic material are used in electrical and electronic devices. Activity. Aim to classify the given materials as magnetic or non-magnetic. Materials required: pins made up of metals, clips made up of plastic, pencil, eraser, water, glass, cardboard, comb, nails, iron key, rock, swing needle, paper and a magnet. Procedure. Bring the magnet near the object one by one. Observe which objects are attracted towards the magnet and which are not. Observation. Pins, nails, key and swing needle are attracted toward the magnet. Eraser, clips, pencil, water, comb, rock, glass, cardboard and paper are not attracted toward the magnet. Conclusion. Some materials are magnetic while some are non-magnetic. Next topic is conduction of electricity. Some materials can conduct electricity and are called conductors. Metals like silver and copper are good conductor of electricity. Non-metals like plastic and wood are bad conductor of electricity and are called insulators. Plastic is used to cover electric wires because it is an insulator that does not allow electricity to pass through it. How are materials grouped? Not all different looking things may differ from each other in all respects. Some may be similar in one way or the other. Such similarity may be in terms of their color, shape, physical state, use, etc. Things which are similar in one or more ways can be grouped together. For example, all human beings can be divided into groups, males and females. Our food items can be grouped as cereals, pulses, dals, fat, oil, etc. Your clothes may be grouped into various groups such as pants, shirts, kurtas, etc. Grouping is done on the basis of similarities in one or more ways, need, convenience. The materials can be grouped on the basis of similarities or differences in their properties. The properties which form the basis of groups are shape, hardness, color, nature living or non-living, natural and man-made, etc. Taste, material they are made up of, physical state. Classification into groups. Make it easier to work with them. Help us to learn their property easily. Why we group materials? Grouping is done because it helps in sorting out the objects, make it easier to locate any object quickly and save time. Is convenient to arrange things systematically. Helps to identify any object. Helps to save systematic knowledge about things. Enable us to differentiate between members of different groups. Okay student, let's quick revise. Reader's Digest. A material is a substance that is used for making an object. Materials can be classified on the basis of their luster, their state, hardness, roughness or smoothness, their solubility in water, density, conduction of heat or electricity. Classification make it easy, simple, convenient and systematic to study a large number of objects. According to the state, materials can be in solid state, liquid state or gaseous state. Depending on the ability of light to pass through, object can be classified as transparent, translucent or opaque. Okay student, we have done our chapter. Now, it's time to take your leave. Thank you.